second. Um, Preferences. Device proper. Should be here. Okay. And we output. It should be the normal one. Should just play something. Okay, it's playing, but I'm not hearing it, and neither are you guys. So. Let's try this. Okay, now I'm hearing. I think that's the whole thing. And not sure if it's playing this one or that one. Yeah, okay. So it actually has 2 chords in there, and I think I only want one with them. It sucks that display is not working right now, so yeah, welcome to Buzz, full of fucking bugs. Stuff that's unfinished. We'll try just starting it up a little bit later. I can probably do this in a proper editor as well, but since I usually you don't really hear the original sample on the stuff I do, so it doesn't really matter that much. I usually don't really care that much if there are different sounds in there or not. The end is a bit too sudden. I will just actually, I think I can cut this. Editing, delete. Here. Volume, fade out. Okay, let's see how this sounds. Make sure that's the right signals we played. Okay, I can even cut it a little bit more so you don't even hear the second chord, you only hear the first one, and that's already something that I can work with. Volume, fade, out. Okay, let's see now. Maybe cut it a little bit more. I still hear a little bit echo of the second. I don't really need it, so fade out. Okay, that should be okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a few machines. These are defaults from Jeskola himself, and to access the other ones you need to go to more machines. I don't know why the selector isn't automatically on the same. That's something stupid from Jeskola, but whatever. Stuff that actually uses samples. Let me think if there is the VKR granular, which is actually quite decent. Next you can use those, it's already playing. This one selects the sample. You can see below here what's it saying, so I'm just using sample 1. These settings I can change them, and the note I can press whatever I want. Just want to have something. Now I'll make it quite long. start and end on the same place. So either I get an actual loop going here, and I make sure that the attack and decay matches properly. Doesn't really matter if it's too repetitive or not, because well, you will see what I'm going to do next. Maybe put it a little bit longer so it doesn't look that much. Maybe a little bit too much. Okay, let's leave it at all at zeros. That's fine for now. And then what I'm going to do is make a whole, I'll call it like a bed of effects. And need like reverbs. Usually just views from Jeskola himself. And this is where the silly stuff happens, because there are some reverbs here and some reverbs there, and I have to figure out which one I want to use. If it's from the original list of effects or not. There's one that is, yeah, the reverb. Usually there are a couple effects that I usually use, the ninja delay, the rhythma, the lepidotherapist, the reverb. And what I'm trying to do is actually I'm going to build a thick wall of just leftover sounds, so you won't barely hear the original. So I'm just going to get rid of all the dry. So you hear amplified sound of amplified sounds of reverbs. See, so it doesn't really matter that you hear the loops in the beginning, because you just get leftovers. Now what I need to be really careful about is, of course, reaching the threshold level, so I don't want the sound to be distorting. Just enough to keep it on the thread. Yeah, okay, I can actually connect this directly, I think. Let's see what this sounds like. When I hear some glitches, but I can actually use that. I use that a lot for my stuff. And the glitches come from this, and you can still hear them out, but when it's coming from the second reverb, you don't hear glitches at all. You only hear... Actually, they're very faint, but you still hear them. Anyways, I can use this because I will now filter this channel to do the mood around it. I can put, for example, a temperature on it. Temperature from here. So I love Joachim's machines. All of them are very good. The temperature. Can do a lot thicker sounds with it, and you can also cut the below. You can also put it higher, so it depends what you want to do. I usually put it lower, just a bit, so it has a very strong bass, and then I have to amplify it afterwards. So I will find a decent amplifier, and I can either, if I want to have it rougher or not, I can either just do a normal gain, or I can do something with distortion. So it depends a lot on what you want to do. I'm just going to go for simple gain. I don't know which one. I should probably be starting to think of equalizing already. What was the damn EQ that was decent? I might have to load all the setups so I can find that, but that's fine. I can do that on the fly. Where the hell is Buzz? Another one. I'll take a look at some of my old setups. Here are all the tracks that I've been doing on this new machine. Just open a random one. Let's see. Funky Verb, I use that a lot as well, and limiters. But this is actually not a very good example. Overdrive is also good. I also use the sea cucumber sometimes. So let me try another one. I just want to know the name of a specific machine that I'm looking for, which is ParaMQ. Maybe it's ParaMQ. Big IO ParaMQ. You get you can select the frequency and just amplify that part, which is it could be what I want. There are some better equalizing tools, especially VSTIs, but I'm trying to keep everything away from VSTIs as much as possible. So I'm gonna go for big IO ParaMQ. Let's see if that helps me. Okay, so now what I want to do is go to the lower frequencies, I guess around 200, and amplify those. So you hear a lot more bass now. I could also focus on the high machine, but I think I'm going to focus on the lower one on this one. Maybe not so much, or this is why the stretch this one once. Yeah, I have it. That's right. Okay. Okay, I want to find out the right amount. Is this playing? No. It's just not cut it. When I get focus into this, so this is not going as I intended. It's distorting way too much. So let's try and play it. Reverb times. Maybe it has a little bit of a feedback, so if you leave it on for too long it accumulates. So okay, let's try this again. Well, actually this is a much more interesting sound, which is picking up on the glitches that the original sound had. Okay, now what I want to do is automate some of these things, and then I can use the BTD Imperial FO. BTD Imperial FO, you can assign parameter, and the parameter you say the specific machine which you want to do that to, reverb. In this case I want to automate the dry out to float around a bit. I'm just going to turn it on by default. Which you don't see that, you usually see the automation going, but I think on the rev out and dry out, you don't, by some stupid reason. But you can hear it, that it's changing. Oh, it's affecting the other one. Okay, that explains why I wasn't seeing it here. Okay, but that's not the right one that I wanted to assign to, so I'm going to go back instead of reverb. I'm going to do reverb 2. Yeah, that was my mistake. And dry out on this one. So this one leaves 0, and now this one is being automated, which was the one I wanted to change. What I'm going to do is not have a square, I'm going to do a wander. Wander just floats around a bit back and forth. And now I'm putting the maximum. Actually, the square is a good way for you to check or decide, you can say where the maximum and the minimum is between the wander. And I guess I can put the maximum slightly bigger. As well. Okay, now if you turn on the wander, it will just try to float between them. And you can set the rating of the wander, so if it moves very slowly or if it moves very fast between them. So you want a decent rate that makes sure that or put it in milliseconds so it's easier for me. Okay, so it changes a little bit every second. It's about every second. And then you can also automate these changes. So you can have another PRLFO changing the rate of this rate. So that in the beginning of a track, it moves a lot. At the subsection of the track, it moves a lot faster, and at the other section of the track, it will move a lot slower. And you can do all these different automations to make the stuff more interesting and more feeling like its own organism of sorts. I still think it's a bit too fast, so I'm going to put it slower. Okay, this is good. Now I need some other sounds. Close this, I don't need this anymore. Let's try to get some other sounds. I'm just going to try for something completely silly. I was talking about the cucumber at some point, so we can try see cucumber. I'm going to go for the original sound and see what I can do with that. I'm going to display. It sounds pretty much the same. Sucks that I don't have some. Yeah, randomize. Okay. So a few randomizations. See if we get something interesting. I get it. I guess if you put it at 0, there is no, but at 0 there should be no gain. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if it's doing feedback or not. It's doing something, but here I just have the glitches, which mix with the other glitches. So I don't know if I really want them or not. I'm thinking no. So I'm gonna ignore the glitches, and I'm guessing I'm going for the low sounds. To find something interesting. Nope. Modulating the sound is not very interesting, but I can add some more effects later on. Let me try the ancient delay, which I think it's from Jeskola. And this is where I really hate changing between machines and more machines. I want the whole pack. I don't want to be differencing between the different machines. What is what? I just want the list of all the fucking effects. So it's one of the things. I mean, on the old Buzz you didn't have this menu at all. But then again, you also, to get more machines, it was a bloody nightmare. You had to actually download them and install them manually into the directory and relaunch Buzz and hope that everything would just crash and burn. So I like the update, but it could be clearly improved. And yeah. Okay, what it does is like it chooses a band. That's why I'm here on the type of filter. I'm selecting band pass, so it will filter a band, and then it applies delay on just that band. And you can change the bandwidth of the band here and how much it's actually allowed. And usually you don't want to have it 100% here, because it will, with the feedback also being high, you can easily do some not so nice stuff. Samples and ticks. I usually leave it at ticks. Buzz glitch stuff you're not supposed to be changing, but I can actually use this to my advantage somehow. So if I put a pure LFO that just changes this very slowly, now and again I can use this clicks as if I put it as a fixed time, I can use it as actually percussion, and if I don't use it as at a fixed time, I can just use it as an ambient that just occurs now and again. So yeah, well, I never seen this view of parameters. You can change everything here. This is very interesting. Yeah, and you can just see everything moving. Keep learning new stuff. So okay, I'm gonna do another controller. There's a way to get you something faster, which is clone with parameters. So it just clones the previous one. I usually put them close to what they're actually controlling, so that I know what the hell they're doing. So this one I know it's controlling the reverb 2, so I'm gonna put it close to the reverb 2. It's here, it's moving. And this one I'm gonna put it close to the ninja, and I'm gonna say that it's supposed to assign to the ninja. Ninja was the length. And what I want to do it is to make it 1/3. Yeah, I guess 1/3 is okay. And it was very close to the minimum. Something like this. Even this is too much. Between 1 and 3. Let's just see if I can find a nice pattern for percussion. Actually, there's a way you can fine-tune this min and max instead of just sliding. If you select this row and then press the arrow key to the left and to the right, it will slowly increase. That's a nice way for you to fine-tune the value. I like the sounds. I think they need to be louder in the final mix. I guess I'll put a gain here. Some people... there was one that was just called amp. Cheapo amp, yeah. Cheapo amp is decent. It just does the amplification, and that's all I want in this case. Some people use Buzz to just do the composing and then they do the mixing elsewhere. They just save multi-track. That's not really my thing. So I try to do the whole mix here. And I know I'm losing a bit because it can be improved elsewhere using better VSTIs and that kind of stuff. But you know, I don't really care that much. Also, I do normally tracks that get reused for other stuff. So I use them later on in mixes when I do my whole albums, or I do edits for specific demo soundtracks or stuff like that. So I just end up doing a lot of tracks of these kind of sounds, and then I mix them together in and out as I see fit. And so it's a lot better to have that versatility, that you can just record all of this and then load it up at, I usually use Ardour, but you can use whatever DAW that you want to load it up. Although the amplification on this one I'm not liking very much. I think I need specific sounds of the clicks. I need to know the specific frequency, so I'm going to try to do a parameter Q instead of that. Parameters. this one is broad enough, it just amplifies that part of the signal, and since the clicks are the only thing that's happening on that side, on those frequencies, I cover them as well. Let's see how it sounds with rest. Yeah, I like this. It's pretty good. These should probably be slower. So I'm gonna increase the wandering of this one. Or actually diminish the max. Because I'm affecting, the wander will affect on two ways. When you increase this dry out, it's when it's higher that you hear these small burning sounds. So see, now you hear them less. They're still there though. I can either yeah, they happen way too often, and there's no real way you can change directly that part. Can maybe float this rev in and out a bit. So it will counterbalance. It will also affect what's going beneath here though. So I need to be careful with that, otherwise I will be just changing the whole track, which can be good, can be bad. So actually, why am I doing new one? Just load this one. Parameters, I have Imperial Level 3. I will assign to Imperial Level 3. Fuck, clicked the wrong button. This is also a great new feature that they have. You can search online for help on the machine, and whenever you do that, you always get 404 not found page. So yeah, great feature. Actually, I think I can figure out how to hack the system so it doesn't show up that damn useless menu. It's just taking up space. So I want to change the Rev2 out, and I want to float it between with 7 dB. Where is this? Okay, so I'm gonna put it on sine just so I can see the min and max real quick. Max can be a little higher, so it reaches 7. A bit more, okay. Okay, and the minimum can also be a bit higher. I want to keep hearing the sound all the time. Okay, this sounds better. Let's put this back on wander. And this wander should actually be faster, I think. I'm actually thinking of cloning this and passing it directly to the C cucumber so it doesn't affect that. So it's exactly the same sound, just without the automation. And I will put this on 7. Even put it a little bit louder. Because I was... the sounds here were a bit lower than I wish they were, so it's actually put a little bit of the dry sound as well. See how it sounds. You hear no difference at all. Without the dry, so I'm gonna leave it without, just because it's less stuff to mix. Doesn't really impact the performance anyways, but well, okay. Let's hear everything together. Okay, what more can I add here? First I should save before this crashes. And I've been saving it. I usually do a whole track just at the same day, so I've been saving it as the day, and today is the 15 is the year, then it's the month, which is 12, and then today is actually the 7th of December. So yeah, that's my setup right now. That's it. What more can I add to this? I could try adding an absinthe and put some LEDs in it, although I'm not sure. I can try to fuck around with some more effects. I do like the sounds that I'm getting, so that's good. But okay, let's try screwing around with the absinthe and see what happens. I need a PVST, Jeskola STI. Yeah. Like. It's usually the synth that I use to do proper LEDs in Buzz is usually absinthe. There are some interesting, if it would open, there are some interesting synths inside Buzz itself, but they're all pretty monophonic, or if you try to have the MIDI controller, it only gives you monophony, and I like my polyphony, whatever you call it, so I tend to not use them. So the sounds, good. So I usually just try to find something that will complement the sounds. It's also way too loud. I'm gonna cut it up a bit because I don't want it to be the main sound. Now I don't hear it at all. Let's put it back up a bit. No. Oh. Sure if this might work or not. I need to get my MIDI keyboard out first. We can try some chords, because I'm just doing this on the keyboard right now. But I have it right here, so it should be quick to set up. Just open up. I have the Korg Nano keyboard, which, well, yeah, it's shit, but it's small, it's easy to carry, you can just try a few chords in. I'm not much of a piano player anyway, so for me it's all the same. I just need something to input that's more responsive or can do better polyphony and touch feel than the normal keyboard, the ASCII keyboard that is. So I'll just plug this in, and if I'm lucky, it will just work. Let's see if I'm lucky or not. Doesn't seem like it. I think I have to. First, I will save because configuring MIDI usually crashes stuff. MIDI input, not import. It is. I don't have any stuff. That's fine. Oh, okay, now it's working. Few octaves up. Upper volume. It's not convincing me. Let's try something else. Way too loud. It would be nice for sound effects, but people use the absinthe just to put like a few layout the groundwork, the bass. Some people saw it, the bass sounds, the bass texture. But I already do that on Buzz itself, so I'm more looking for absinthe to give me. Usually it's a LED or a pad that I can fool around live a bit and give me a certain. This one might work. So a bit too low volume. Need to crank it up a bit. Oh, it was low here. Okay. Let's put full volume. Takes way too much. I can try to fix that. I'm still a bit unsure if the overall sound fits very well. Because you already hear hear a bit of the LEDs that I had from the previous track, from the original sample. You hear some of them echoing around. So I don't know. What happened here was I was hitting the MIDI keyboard, and VKR apparently has polyphony, but not trackable polyphony. So it does this, which will be fine, except that I can turn it off afterwards. Yep, just doing it on the first. And it was sounding way higher because I'm 2 octaves up than the usual C4 that I have here. So that's what was happening. But I'm happy with the C4. And what I actually wanted out of this was this one shouldn't be receiving MIDI at all. So MIDI input channel none, which was yeah. So yeah, another bug. And this one should have MIDI channel all. So the thing is, when I selected this one, it signed that this should be the machine that would get the MIDI signal, and I only wanted to send it to the absinthe. Should be a great mistake to do on a live set. Like you're playing live and you just hit the machine to check something, and you end up hitting the MIDI keyboard to play something on the absinthe, and you play another machine by mistake. So yeah. The attack is way too low. I need to rank it up a bit. Where the hell is it? Yeah, here. I guess if I lower these, the attack will lower significantly. Okay. Let's try it. decay should last a bit longer, or at least be higher. So I'm gonna try putting this a bit. Sometimes I would do the transitions between notes, and yeah, I'm not too good at piano, so I need this little additional help. Let's see how this goes. It's interesting. I think the balance of the mix is still not quite there yet. Sometimes the offset is too low, sometimes it's too loud. I don't really know how to fix it right now. I usually fine tune with the amplifiers here, or I use an amplifier itself. Touch sensitive, I actually have to hit it hard to have anything sounding from the absent 5. If I just creep into it, it doesn't really do much sound, so I need to practice a bit to get the right sensitivity. have more layers of stuff, of glitches and quirks and stuff like that. But right now this one seems pretty decent. I'm not very happy with the bass. I usually have a lot deeper bass, but I already have these continuous sounds, and usually the bass stands out more when there's more room for it to breathe. Most part of the bass comes from below, and I'm amplifying because of the clicks. I can close it a bit. Now I will hear less bass, which might give me room for adding another bass source, but I'm not sure that's what I really want at this point. I don't have to fill all the frequencies that exist, so as long as it sounds good, I'm happy with that. I think I could still throw in a couple more elements, but whatever I throw in right now will be more glitches, and I already have two different percussions happening right now. This small burning sounds that you hear here, and they are not on the same tempo as the clicks here. So if I add another element that's not synced to either of this, it's just gonna be, well, noise. So I need to either be very careful, or match one of them, or I transition between one of them to the other somehow. And I'm not sure if it's worth the trouble to try it. Some other stuff here to add a little more intricacy, which usually comes from the leptotherapist. Lepto is a great little stutter, repeater kind of sound. We'll hear what it sounds like. And you can disable it and you have stereo, which is awesome for little fuck-ups. Stuff. We can also put it to really influence it just a little. You can either add gain or dot. You can put it to really low level or really high level as sample bass, even though the sample doesn't really work very well with continuous sounds. Sometimes you can do way too much and you end up with the sound not sounding at all as it was originally conceived. Okay, let's just see how the wet sounds like. This D and W is the dry and the wet. So you can modulate them or have them straight up. Usually the mix, one is the dry and the other one is the wet. So usually it's like this. And you can hear both. You can amplify the signal. You can modulate it. have the mix actually here. So actually what you are hearing right now, this is completely wet, this is completely dry. So let's go for so I'm mixing now. So if you do this, you can do these interesting combinations where you can mix. See how this sounds with the original one in. So I'm not actually using the dry here, I'm just having the wet and then the wet being modulated, or the wet modulating something. So I will have the dry directly. If this will go to 0, 0. Come on, 0, 0, 0, 0. Fucking hell, 0, 0. Much of a difference, it's just the smaller nuances to the sound, but well, the more of those you have, the more complex or intricate it will sound. Which can be good or can be bad, depends what you're trying to achieve. Right now I don't know myself. Good or bad. Let's try changing it a bit. Actually, I think I'm gonna modulate this double. Amplify it there, or put a limiter then there, so I can get those extra dBs from there instead of putting it directly here and then having it clip. Okay, so now the sound seems a bit more interesting. time being a lot longer will help. You can actually change a lot of the parameters on this funky verb, so it's really very good. Even the default already sounds good, but you can really do a lot. Which are like minimal sounds, but when you have such a thick source, the minimal changes here will really affect how the sound goes. So often I even have some control automation changing some of these values. Some of them make the effect restart, so you actually hear clicks in the sound, so you can't fool around with all of them. I'm not sure which ones are stable anymore right now, but usually you can change a lot of this in real time and just hear the sound getting thicker or thinner from too much reverb or too little reverb, which is really great. So I really love Funky Verb. It's one of my favorite reverb machines on Buzz. Okay, so let's try to rehearse. What I do right now at this point when I'm happy with the setup is just I save it. I practice for a few minutes, try to figure out what I want to actually play, and if I see if I have anything else that I would like to automate. And after that I just hit record and have a go at it for a couple of minutes, and yeah, and then see if I can use that somewhere. So I'm just gonna practice a little bit. not very intuitive, doesn't seem to flow very well. Not very happy with that. I can just try it and see if I can pull it off being very careful. Because if I do too low, like this, it's barely hearable. If I start like this, I will have to keep like this for the whole time. Also, when I let go, it completely dies out, so I think I want to stretch that a little bit more. If it would let me. Oh fuck, doesn't it stretch? Come on. Shit, did it go to the rest of the... God damn it. Here, okay, that's better. Okay, I want it way longer. Maybe 6 seconds, that sounds good. Actually, even more. Maybe up to 7 seconds. Let's see how it sounds now. Much better, way much better. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna put this recording because it's already 2 AM and I need to work tomorrow. So hard disk recorder. Here we go. And save as. I usually dump my stuff in the audio work folder. I'm gonna call it today's work, which is PS enough 15 12:07. That's it. Okay. I usually try to find also if I can do an intro or ending with the play and stop. Which I don't seem to be able to, so I will just do fade in, fade out later on. The ending, I can use it for the ending, but for the beginning I don't think so. But well, it's a good policy to always start with a play, because if you can use it, you can use it. If you can't use it, you just cut it, and that's it. And also, how do you do? Reset, I think? Yeah, reset. Just to silence these. I actually did a few tracks where it was only I pressed play, put a lot of noise, then stopped playing, and the rap would just keep repeating itself for a lot of times, and I could still modulate all the effects out of that. And I did whole tracks just with those sound effects, because it sounds different when it's stopped, because the internal clock is not running on the effect, so it actually sounds different, and sometimes gives some fucked up feedbacks and clicks and stuff like that, which can actually be usable and sounds slightly different than when the actual track is playing. So you can use that as an intro or an outro. I can just press play, do the noise, press stop, have the lingering sounds playing of the lab, then I start recording, then do some effects on that, and then I press play with some of the tracks muted or lower amplification. And then I do the whole track fade in and fade out, or intro and outro, just with doing that without having to actually sequence anything, which I really don't like sequencing because it feels so restrictive, and for drone you don't really need sequencing anyway, so fuck that shit. Anyways, I'm gonna press record, I'm gonna press play, and yeah, let's hope it turns out into a decent track. that was it. I think that went pretty okay. It's a bit weary in the beginning on the low frequencies, but when I reached the higher octaves, it went pretty well. So yeah, now I have one more track. I will not save this because I don't want it to be saved with this lower volumes. I had saved it before I started to play. That's the important part. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and if you have any questions, just send me an email. Don't forget to subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, if this is useful for anyone out there, just let me know. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to ask, and I might do some other videos in a similar vein in the future.